Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another episode of B is for Build. In this episode, it's pretty simple. All we're trying to do is to get the clamshell to mate up with the doors in the correct way. In the last episode, I noticed a couple things. One is that this clamshell has a support in it that is holding the body panel out a little bit at the wrong angle. Also, it looks like the doors are hung a little bit lower than what we were supposed to. Looks like we made a small mistake there, so they're gonna come down a little bit, which actually helps us mount our front clamshell up. And we probably need to modify all the mounts around our front clamshell, and hopefully we don't have to modify the headlight mounts, but we may have to modify those as well. So we might have a lot of work ahead in store for us, we might not. I don't know. Eric's coming to join me in a couple minutes and we're gonna get started on this. Fingers crossed, really. Stay tuned. All right, Eric's here. What we've decided to do is going to be a little bit tricky, but I definitely think it's the right answer. Is we're going to set the rear clamshell on here so it's resting on its mounting points. That way it'll give us this body line here and across here so we can figure out where to hang the doors. We're going to make sure the doors are hung properly before we move on to the front and try and match them with the doors. I haven't put a clamshell on this car since we took it off 6 months ago, so fingers crossed. All right, guys, good news that the fitment is off because this means that our door was sagging a little bit. So you can see right here, there's about almost a ½ inch drop. We need to bring this door up, which is gonna improve our line on the front. It's definitely not gonna fix it totally, but it's gonna improve it. On the other side, we need to move it like more like an 1/8 of an inch, so it's super minor on the other side. But as well, on the other side, there was less of an issue that we're seeing up front. So it's pretty cool. First time we put the clamshell on, it slots in really nicely. Everything looks good. I mean, it's exciting. So we're gonna go ahead and rehang the doors with the new, better level information knowledge stuff. All right, the doors and the clamshell look great. I mean, the gap is a little bit large because this isn't bolted down. Obviously, it goes down. We need to mount that up, but we hung the doors properly, which is improving the body line already on the front end. So we got both the doors hung the right way. We got our body line back here at the bottom, makes it look much, much, much better. So now Eric and I are going to figure out how to fix the front end of this car. All right, guys, we figured out the problem. The front of the car is 1 Coors Light away from being in the right spot. So this actually starts to make a lot of sense. I've been noticing some weird things after we were doing while we were doing our installations and stuff. Like, for instance, this was sitting a little high and it wasn't actually mounting on the molding pieces and the weatherproofing stuff. Obviously we had our problems over here with the body line not working out. The wheel clearance wasn't really what I thought it should be, although, you know, it's supposed to be small, but it's not supposed to be that small. And everything just starts making a little bit more sense now that we've made the assumption that it needs to go up that, whatever that is, that looks like about, I don't know, 2 inches maybe 2 1/4. So we're gonna build a bracket that does an extension. And yeah, some people are gonna complain, say it's a little hacky, but we're gonna build a very good quality bracket. I just wanna remind you guys that this bracket right here, obviously that this is our frame rail extension that we built. This is our impact bar that we kind of just eyed up based on the old specs. And then this bracket is bolted onto the back of the frame rail in 3 spots, and it's a variable height. What we're gonna do is we're gonna extend that height, support it so it can't bend back and forth. We're gonna extend it to meet up to that new level that we put in here. I don't expect any problems with doing this, and yeah, you guys can say it's a little bit hacky, but it's just a mount to mount the hood, so I don't think it's that big of an issue. And the front bumper, but whatever. So we're gonna get started on fabrication and try and bust this out as far as we can today. All right, update time. We have extended our bracket to gain ourselves the 2 inches that we needed of height. We slotted the bottom, so it's got our variable height still. That lifts this up just the amount that we need, and there's all sorts of great benefits. First benefit is that it makes the front clamshell sit where it's supposed to, and then because of that, then we get more wheel clearance, which you're not seeing here because it's not set up right, and then our body lines are matching up better. So this is all just the stuff that we're working on, and we're making some minor adjustments, minor tweaks to our bracket here on this side. We're making minor tweaks and improvements to the thing that we just fabricated. And we're doing something else. Oh, we're changing up the tabs underneath here. We're gonna kind of slot these out a little bit more so we can have a little bit more variability on how they sit down. Overall, really good progress, and we're seeing really, really good results. So we're just gonna keep working on it. Things are looking really close. You can see on this side that we have an acceptable panel gap over here, but we're still tinkering with things up front. We're adjusting different things and changing things, and we do need to, I went out and bought a thing so we can change some of the holes around here. What's probably gonna happen is I'm gonna change those around to fit, and then once they fit, I'll fiberglass over them later on, or we could just use washers if we do small enough modifications. So the other side looks good. This side's looking really close. We just have some small minor mods to do up here in the front, and then we should be all good. We got our panel gaps correct. We got the front clamshell bolted on in the correct spot. So what did we do? We just lifted the front up about 2 inches where it needed to go. Let me show you the other side's gap. And we got everything bolted up correctly. We had to modify that there's a mount underneath there and a bracket actually, and we had to modify that a little bit. You can see now we have some acceptable wheel clearance that's gonna let our wheel move back and forth. So the next thing that we're gonna go ahead and do is move our mount. So our headlight brackets are here, and then on the other side they're here and here. They obviously need to, wow, you can't see that at all. How about there? They obviously need to move up a little bit, so we're gonna go ahead and figure out how to fabricate those up and slide those up about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. Headlights mounted up and they look fantastic. Now I should say they're not bolted into the mounts, they're just sitting on their brackets, so they might be off by little bits, but they're sitting there. They look great. We did this just to eye it up and make sure everything's happy. So we modified the brackets, all the brackets in the front end now, those are all good. We modified the front clamshell to sit at the right angle to catch that body line and not have terrible body gap. And everything is looking great. So in the next episode, we're gonna go ahead and continue the final assembly of the car. Alright guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm sorry if this episode came out short. Eric and I were definitely in get shit done mode. I was a little bit panicked with this and I wanted to be able to continue on with the final installation, so we just really put the hammer down and got it done. If you like BS for Build and you like what we do and you want to help support, head over to bsforbuild.com, scroll down to the shop, pick yourself up a key tag or a shirt or a hat. All the proceeds of that stuff go directly towards supporting these builds. At the time of this episode coming out, I have the new mini decals added to the decal section. They're much smaller, so they'll fit in smaller places, as smaller things normally do. You can find us at facebook.com/BSforBuild, and we are BS for Build on Instagram. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a great night. Peace.